It's a typical hot, humid summer night here in Nebraska. Temperatures through the 6 o'clock hour still holding in the low 90s. A little breezy day. We expected those breezy conditions to hang around, and they will through the weekend here. But of course, so will the heat, at least for the first part of the weekend, thanks to that warm front that passed through nearly 2 days ago now. And as we look off to the west, this surface trough is what's responsible in part for getting these thunderstorms going. Some severe, but nothing in the local 4 viewing area right now. So that's a good thing. Looking across the board at our current temperatures, we're all in the low to mid 90s. A couple degrees warmer off to the west, but really overall low 90s to upper 80s are the going temperatures here. And of course, that moisture, the air you can wear, that's back in place. Typical air air mass that we have this time of year, especially as that corn gets up. And those southerly winds, southeasterly winds help quite a bit as well to bring that moisture up. But here you can see low to mid, even upper 70s in those dew points in the central and eastern part of the state. That's where it's the worst. A little more comfortable off to the west as you go into the panhandle, and because of that, a tad warmer as well. But look at the winds here, very, very strong, feeding up this boundary that I showed you here on the couple graphics ago where that surface trough is, and you can see where those winds are kind of converging right there. And those were those thunderstorms. That's why they formed up in the northwestern part of the state, and that's why they're there in that location right now. But as we look at our forecast highs for tomorrow, well, we're going to crank up the heat even more. But you factor in these mid 90s, even some upper 90s in certain places. You factor in these numbers along with the dew points, and then you get that heat index from about 100 to 104 or 5. So that's very, very hot. Obviously, and you're saying, Tim, it's summertime in Nebraska, big deal. But just if you're outside, it can take a little toll on all of us, especially old folks like me. But nevertheless, as we go by the 90s tomorrow, we're looking at the 80s on Sunday. The front should pass through the Tri-Cities around late morning to early afternoon. And then the rest of the week we're cooler. But the good news is we get some chances for some rain. And that's the timing is good because we're starting to build in droughts in certain parts of the area, especially Adams and Clay counties, and especially as you go further in the western part of the state. So let's bring in meteorologist Kit Cloninger, who's going to talk about the chances for severe weather and what's going on tonight, but also, more importantly, chances for rain as we get through the next 7 days.
That's right, Tim. So we're looking at the chance for some severe weather. We were seeing that earlier in first weather. We've got a severe thunderstorm watch out. So let's take a look at the severe weather outlook for today that we've got across mostly in the Sand Hills, but it does reach into parts of the local 4 viewing area as well. So as I said, it's mostly for the Sand Hills, but from Custer County up to the Highway 20 corridor into South Dakota and even North Dakota, we've got that level 2 slight risk up there and across much of the state. And then the marginal just on the outskirts of that. So looking through Futurecast tonight, the threat for severe weather will be moving through around 10 o'clock to 2 a.m.'s time frame for our viewing area at least. And you can see some pretty high rain rates with that, so we could see some storms dropping a lot of rain all at once, but overall widespread totals aren't going to be very much. That'll continue into northeastern Nebraska overnight, and then as we head into Saturday, we have pretty clear skies through most of the day, maybe a few clouds building in the afternoon, and then another chance for some potentially severe thunderstorms. Now, we only have that level 1 threat for tomorrow, but could still be something we'll have to be monitoring into the overnight hours there on early Sunday morning, and then maybe even seeing a few passing storms here in the Tri-Cities. As we get into Sunday, though, a cold front's passing through to bring those temperatures down and bring us a little bit more rain here around the Tri-Cities and southern southeastern Nebraska. Now, there are some places that don't need as much rain as maybe here around the Hastings area into Clay County, but looks like it's going to basically be the highest rain is going to be where we've seen a lot of rain lately. So only around 1 to 2 inches here over the next 7 days forecast for around the Tri-Cities area, a little less than an inch maybe up towards the north and west, and then about 2 to 3 in northeastern Kansas. But lows overnight tonight are going to be dropping down into the 70s, so it is going to be a mild night tonight, which always sets us up for a hot day the next day. Now, that does it for weather. We'll send it out to Spencer.